This is Bruce Bishop for ChronicleT.com, and I'm back again, week 6, with Tim Alcorn from AM 930 WEOL. Halfway through the season, Tim.
We start the second half of the season on Friday night. That's hard to believe. And I'll tell you what, the first half of the year has really seen some terrific performances. Of course, one unbeaten team in the county, that's the Midview Middies. I guess if you were handing out the midterm report card, they'd get the A+ in the county with that 5-0 mark. But there are 7 teams in Lorain County that have records of 4-1 halfway through. So all in all, it's been a pretty good first half of the year here in our area.
So what's our big game? What are we looking for?
Well, I think the game we have on WEOL, in fact, we kind of flexed our schedule a little bit to get it on. The North Ridgeville game against Midview. It should be a great one. 5-0 against 4-1. You've got some of the great offensive talent in Lorain County that'll be on display that night. Premier player in DeMario McCall. What a season he's having. 25 touchdowns through 5 games, and he's already rushed for 1,100 yards. On the Midview side, Dustin Crum, Dante Redwood, all the talent that's on that Midview side of the ball. So that should be a great game. But I mentioned all those 4-1 teams, and we've got several matchups in which 2 4-1 teams are going at it. Avon and Elyria Catholic, they're both 4-1. Keystone and Firelands, they're both 4-1. They're playing for Firelands' homecoming game. And even Lorain at 4-1 has a huge game. They take on an unbeaten Bedford team. So really, as far as the matchups are concerned, this may be the best week overall, just as far as some of the great games that are on the schedule.
Well, we're back to the same X factor we were at a couple weeks ago, and that's the weather.
Yeah, the forecast for Friday night isn't the best. Boy, why couldn't it be like we are right now? It's just absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, they're talking about some rain, some wind. Again, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I don't mind if we get some rain and the wind. Just keep that lightning away from us. But yeah, the forecast isn't the best. So if you've got some guys that can run the football and run it in the mud, that may play to your advantage somewhat. So,
and I have to ask you before we let you go, and we didn't talk about this beforehand, but who are you picking in that Midview North Olmsted game after last week? Well,
at the risk of just getting the wrath of the Midview fans like I got last week when I picked Avon, I'll go with Midview. But I did go with Midview in the picket line. I think it'll be very close. I think it'll be a great ball game. But Midview's 5-0. I'm a believer, so I'll go with Midview. Very, very close ball game, though.
All right. Well, let's see how this wraps up, and we'll be back next week.
Sounds good to me.
Thanks, Tim.